Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So the numbers that we are seeing are still staggering. So let's take a look. In Georgetown this week, we had 16 sales, which is a really good number for Georgetown. That has everything to do with the fact that we actually are getting inventory for people to buy. I mean, if there was unlimited inventory right now, our sales would be 20, 30, 40 a week. But there's not a lot to buy. So it's still keeping the sales numbers overall low, but it's getting higher because inventory is picking up. So 16 sales, 15 of them got over asking. Last week I discussed the $899 price point. I said, I think there was 6 properties on for $899. I said, they're all gonna get over $1 million. I was right. They got between $1.3 million, so $1,003,000 and $1.23 million. So huge sales last week. So if you were looking at MLS at $899, like, do not be fooled. You need to have $1 million budget to buy those properties. I just want this to all be over. It's just crazy. So in terms of new listings, only 13 new listings last week, which is bad news. We saw 9 of them yesterday. So just kind of not a lot came on last week, but hopefully this week we see a pickup. Those 16 people hopefully have things to list and sell that bought. So we just need this to keep turning along here, but only 13 new listings in Georgetown this week. So inventory is going to be down. Not great, but what do you do? Acton this week had 7 sales. Huge week in Acton. 7 sales, even when like inventory is good, is a lot for Acton. 6 of them got over asking, and the good news is there was 7 new listings. So there's stuff coming up in Acton, and I mean, we saw what I would call basic subdivision houses in Acton last week get over 1.4 million. So even Acton is crazy. I have a client that lives on Tanner's in Acton, and he said, also, when you can get me $1 million. I was like, I will never be able to get you $1 million. This was 2-3 years ago. And all of a sudden his property's worth like 1.5. And so it is just kind of crazy where things have gone in the last like 12 to 15 months. Glen Williams and Limehouse saw no sales and no new listings. The rural market saw 1 sale and 1 new listing. Okay, so now looking at active inventory, we have some bad news is inventory is down again this week. So last week we were at 39 and it was so promising. We had all these weeks of increasing. No, we're right back down to 34 active listings this week. Not great news for buyers. This is just showing like there's just so much demand, and when things come up, they're being bought, and we just can't keep up with the demand right now. So looking at Georgetown, last week we had 19 listings. This week we're right back down to 15 active listings. So very low numbers there. Looking at our price points, under 700,000, no active listings. 700,000 to 800,000, we have a great condo townhome for $749 on Palomino Trail. That is one of probably my favorite condo townhome street. It's this little pocket. I mean, in this market, I anticipate it'll get between $850 and $925, but it is on for $749. But if I had to buy a condo townhome in town, it would be on Palomino Trail. Anyways. 800 to $1 million is down to only 3 active listings. So last week we were at 7 and we were talking about how that is a super high number. Well, pretty much all those are gone. We're down to only 3 active listings, and the ones that are there, I anticipate the same thing. They're going to get over that $1 million mark, which is crazy. $1 million plus, last week we were at 12. This week we're down to only 11. Still just not enough. We are getting that variety of stuff coming in Georgetown South. We could really use like $1.2 million to $1.6 million in Georgetown, not the like subdivision Georgetown South houses. Like, we really have not seen a lot come up in that pocket in Georgetown. So that's really lacking, I think, and I know there's lots of buyers for those kind of properties. So overall, Georgetown is just still in a spot. Acton this week is down slightly to 9 active listings. Glen Williams still has that 1 listing sitting in the sold conditional status. Limehouse has 1 active listing. It's a big ticket at, I think, 2.8. And then the rural market remained the same this week at 8 active listings, which is a very low number for the rural market. We are used to seeing, even when our inventory was low, rural was sitting at like 20 plus listings. And so only 8 active listings in the rural market is very, very low. So these numbers are not getting any better. Like, everyone wants to talk about this market crashing, this market going backwards. But when we're looking at these numbers, at least in our marketplace in Halton Hills, the backlog of demand to be here is just so high that even if you didn't see my reel this week about interest rates versus inventory, even if interest rates climb, if we don't see some inventory coming on, we are still going to be in a situation, because there's a lot of people that a 1% interest rate change is not going to make or break their home buying process. So it's going to be interesting to watch here. We're seeing a lot of really big numbers, and week to week it's climbing. Like, 2 weeks ago, an N unit in Weaver's Mill got 1.175, and this week it's over 1.2 for the same model. Like, it's just going up week to week, and I don't know when it's going to slow down, but it's not anytime soon. So I will be back next Tuesday. I hope you all have a great week.